Hi, everybody. My name is Amanda Bruton, and I am the owner of Medicare Answers Now. And yes, I am working from home today. Today, we have Tom Drapala from RSSA on to talk about best practices and frequently asked questions regarding the Registered Social Security Analyst program and why you want to partake in that. And the business opportunity that is there. Today we'll also be hearing from Lori Crivelli and Robin Tefft, who have recently taken the exam and started utilizing the program and the benefits that has done. As you have questions, as always, feel free to put them in the chat, or you can come off mute and ask your question real time. But with that being said, I am going to turn this over to Tom and the ladies, and so that way you guys can have at it.
Awesome. Thanks, Amanda. Well, the first thing I'd like to do is just say thank you to everyone coming on the call, and obviously for Lori and Robin to join me today and talk about the program. And I know that I think Robin said she has till 3:30. So the first thing I'd like to do is invite on Robin and then Lori to talk a little bit about their experience. And as you two do that, I want you to give your honest feedback, negative or positive. Talk about what you liked about the program, how you think you're going to use it, what you've done maybe so far as success goes. And yeah, we'd love to hear from you. So Robin, why don't you kick us off and talk a little bit about, your experience so far through the RSSA program.
Okay, well, first of all, I did the whole program last August and took the exam in September. I will say my timing was not that great going into AEP, but I really wanted to have that program and that certification under my belt because I had a big HR convention that I was going to in the beginning of October, and I really wanted that in my back pocket just to present to them as a resource for them. So that's really where my focus is on HR people and companies and universities and that kind of thing. So the program to me, it really showed me how confusing Social Security is to everybody, right? And then, just going through everything and thinking, oh my gosh, there is so much, no wonder people are confused. So going through it was definitely a huge benefit because at least now I have the base of knowledge. And I will say that you guys in the beginning, when I started talking to people about the program, there were questions that were coming in that I'm like, I have no idea. And I would fire off an email to you or one of your people, and you guys got back to me right away. And I was so appreciative of that because, you want to look good and you want to have answers for people. But so that was one of the great things I think about you guys is the support that you get after you take the exam. So definitely a beneficial thing to do. It's a whole different market than the Medicare space. I mean, for the people that I'm talking to, they're in their 40s, they're in their 50s. I'm just kind of showing them the choices that they have going down the line. And I'm also talking to some small business people who that's a whole nother ball game, right, Tom? I mean, yeah. That's a whole thing, but it's good for them to know because honestly, I mean, we're all small business people too. And that whole part of it was really beneficial to the people I'm talking to and to me. Yeah. So
Robin, do you feel that this has helped your business so far?
It has, yeah, because it's gotten me in the door where, especially with some of the HR people that might not have understood really what the Medicare piece was, but they most certainly understand the Social Security piece because it can benefit them as well on a personal level, not just their employees.
Absolutely. And, I think, Robin, I think the big part of, everyone learning more about the program is, I think the biggest two questions really are, what your experience has been like, which obviously it sounds very positive. I think the other thing that people look at is, the price, obviously. Do you think that, paying what you paid to get into the program, have we offered you enough for it to be worth what you paid? Do you think it was a good investment?
I do. I absolutely do. Just if I didn't charge a dime for this, for people coming into it, like, for the portal and stuff, it would still be worth it for me just because of what I've learned and what I can help people with.
That's
I,
that's
I,
great.
I do see there's a question from Katie in the chat about what I'm charging for the services. That is a whole that is a whole thing, because so coming from the Medicare space, I was like, I don't know how to charge people for what I'm doing. But Katie, I wish I could answer your question, because again, I'm not really looking at individuals. I'm looking at HR people, and they're kind of buying it for their employees in a way. And that's kind of how I'm presenting things. So
Yeah,
that's a hard
that's awesome. Robin, I think that you are going down such a wonderful path because, again, if we all think about the business that we're in, a big part of it now is word of mouth, referrals, reviews. And it's also not just about going and getting in front of just new leads and prospects, but it's also about how we can build those B2B relationships, right? Referral relationships. And like you said, getting in front of maybe unions, employer groups, and organizations that are looking for maybe an HR benefit to their employees and things like that. I actually know I spoke to someone recently who, with Social Security, there's a rule, the WEP and the GPO, that impact those who have non-covered pensions. And we have RSSAs that are going to these school districts that they're impacted by that, every single person in the school, and are offering this benefit to them and getting in that way. So
I'm
I
glad
think
you
that
brought that up, Tom, because
yeah,
actually the universities that I work with, I'm actually going to the private schools and the public schools in the area of those universities and offering this program to them, not necessarily the Medicare benefits, because their staffs are not as big as obviously universities and the Medicare space there. But yeah, they absolutely need to know about how their pension is going to affect their Social Security.
yeah. And you know what? It's funny too, because when I first started really doing events, it was at a couple local high schools that do adult education. And, if any, I'm not sure how it is in other areas. I have helped people, in the program get into their school districts. And they do adult education, which is everything from, come and do yoga to painting and all that. But they also have, adult education for long-term care and Medicare and Social Security. And so, my parents got a brochure about adult education, and I saw that, and no one was doing Social Security there. So, I simply made a phone call to the person who runs the adult education program and was basically in at the next session because, they want to help not just, the staff and the teachers, but they also send out to those brochures to the community. And for something that is very cost effective as far as getting in front of people, that's a great way to do it. I think that we all want to find ways where, yes, we could go with lead vendors and spend money on Facebook and Google ads, and that's all, that's good. But we also want to find cost-effective ways to get in front of people. And I think what you're doing, Robin, as well as the school districts and other ways like that, it's a really effective way to do that.
Yeah, it's been great too, because it's not like, it's obviously something that they need to know, and everybody's kind of afraid of it. It's like, I know nothing about it. Just, it's kind of, that's very similar to the Medicare space, right? You're
Yeah.
going to people and they like, I'm afraid I don't know anything about it. And it's the same with Social Security. So and as well as I do, one of those test questions is about how many regulations there are, right? And there's a lot of them, right?
Yeah,
Over
exactly. And
2,000
I,
things.
I I think that really ties into Medicare in that, I think when clients want to work with us as professionals, it's because they don't really know what to do. They don't know where to turn to. And when they see that we can be that reliable resource, they were able to build those relationships. And I think a big part of the business today too, as an agent, whether it's Medicare, maybe some of you do life insurance or annuities, but I think it's all about, building meaningful relationships. I think that there's too many people out there, especially with seniors, which is why there's so many rules that, we have to follow because people aren't always doing the right things. But I think it's being able to genuinely help them with, the right areas of their retirement for them to, at the end of the day, live that peaceful and, financially free retirement that they've earned. For some people, they've been paying in to Social Security and Medicare and working the last 40, 50 years. And, unfortunately, I've been in situations where I've helped clients who, didn't plan as good as others. And, unfortunately, they have to work later in life. And, it's one thing if you like to work and don't want to necessarily have like a boring retirement. Some people like to work. That's different than the people that I've seen where they're in their 80s and they have to continue to work just to make ends meet. And so these are all the type of things that I love to help clients with these decisions. And that's why I also teach, obviously the agents in the program best practices as well. Because I think the more that I can teach all of you, just like Amanda does for, all of the agents that she works with, it's all about learning and continuing to learn. So, Robin, thank you so much for
Hey,
coming on
Tom,
today.
let me just add one more thing for you. The
Yeah.
RSSA designation is a big deal, right? Think for the Medicare people on the call, just think of, what that AHIP and the NABIP mean. When I was doing kind of research on, hey, what is RSSA and should I do it? I looked and to see how many people, I'm in New Jersey, and to look to see how many people had that designation here in New Jersey. And there were less than 20 when I took the exam. So that too was a big deal, saying, hey, I'm one of the few in New Jersey who can help you the way I can with this designation. So there you go.
Yeah. Robin, thank you so much for sharing with us. Truly unbelievable. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And Lori, I'd like to invite you on now and share some of your experiences with us as well.
Okay, well, I am a property and casualty agent primarily for 30 years, and last year decided to get into the Medicare world and started chatting with some of my clients at the end of last year about it. And they happen to be close friends as well, turning 62 in a couple months, and said, what do you know about Social Security? And I had seen Amanda's posts about your program and was like, I just can't bite off anymore right now. This was last year. And so then I decided in January to go through your live program that you offered. And I sat through I think about 2 or 3 of them live, and did the other ones by watching, which was at the end of January. And then I took my exam on February 14th and I passed. So right now I've reached out to my local school district, which is fairly large. I know their superintendent well, and had a very interesting conversation with her because she told me she's not eligible for anything. And I said, oh, yes, you are. So she sent me her stuff. I ran it and she was completely shocked. So she's pushing me over to someone within the district that I would need to talk to as far as who would be I could get things set up and start working with the district and with the teachers there. But my goal is to help my client base. I have a lot of business clients in my PNC book of business. And for my own self, my husband and I are both business owners, and I ran our reports and was able to determine that if I back off our salaries to, something that's reasonable for what we do, I can save thousands of dollars in Medicare taxes by just doing a distribution of income out of our corporation. So that was a huge eye opener for me. And that's my plan, is to try to work with a lot of business owners early on in their 50s so they can start to see how they can structure their future earnings out of their businesses to get the most bang for their buck and not pay all that money into Social Security, and they're really not going to get any more out of it.
Yeah, well, Lori, it's great that you mentioned that. And just to give everyone a little background about what Lori is alluding to, is that we have this part of the RSA program product, if you will, for self-employed business owners, and it's called Self-Employed Tax and Retirement Analysis. The acronym is SETERA, and this basically helps those, and many of you might have this in your Medicare business, is an S corp. Now, with S corps, they have a portion of their business that pays into Social Security, which is the salary. But you can also take distributions out of the business, which isn't subject to Social Security and Medicare tax. So once you run the reports and realize that you may have already maxed out or close to maxed out what you would get out of Social Security, and you plan to work another 5, 10, or even longer amount of years, by running the reports and seeing that by paying in more, you're not getting any return, any more increase on your Social Security. So you can lower your salary under a reasonable compensation, right? As long as it doesn't raise any IRS red flags. You don't want to pay yourself 20,000 when you really should be paying yourself 100,000. But we find that so many business owners are overpaying themselves and not taking as high of a distribution. And like Lori said, you could potentially save, thousands of dollars every single year. Now, with that Cetera analysis alone, because the average self-employed business owner usually saves, between 2 and 5,000 the first year alone, that is a product that you can work with, that you can charge, a couple $1,000s, and people pay that because you're saving them potentially $100,000 over their lifetime in self-employment taxes. That's also good for annuities. If you can save them on taxes and put that into an annuity for that to grow. So there's a lot of different strategies that we teach. And again, it's all about educating our clients, helping them with their decisions. I think that's the most important part. But also, we all realize that, we're on this call because we want to, take our businesses to the next level. We want to increase our sales, right? But, I'm sure many of you have heard of Zig Ziglar. When we help other people in a genuine way, we're helping ourselves and it helps our family ultimately. And we want to live those better lives. So, Lori, your story is unbelievable, just like Robin. Have you found so far that this has been a good investment into your business?
Yes, the client that was asking me about Social Security were my first clients, and I took the advice of the course. I'm doing about 10 or so at no charge just to kind of get my feet wet and understand the program. And so we did theirs, and it was interesting because they both are turning 62, and he was pretty adamant, given the situation of he retired 5 years ago and his employer paid something they call a match Social Security. I don't know, some magic money that no one knows where it came from. And so now that he's turning 62, he's going to lose that. So he was pretty adamant that they were going to both start taking at 62. But after we met, went through the process, he's definitely not going to start drawing probably till full retirement, and she will start drawing early. And I did have a little bit of an issue with this, and I reached out, and you guys were great to help me because of the spousal benefit, trying to figure out what was going on, why she wasn't eligible, but ended up being that I should have just really thought about it, and I probably would have figured it out, but you guys were really helpful. So good support. It's good to know that if you have a question or you get hung up on something, that someone will be readily available to assist and walk you through why something is that way.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the support aspect is very important. If you ever have client cases or questions that you have, especially in the beginning when you're first learning, if you go back to when you first started in any business or anything that you do, it's all new and overwhelming at first. And I think to have someone there, or a team in this case, support you through the beginning until it kind of becomes second nature is really important. And what I've tried to do with our agents is, one, we have weekly training now. So Robin and Lori, if you haven't joined those yet, we have weekly training where we talk about everything from, best practices to marketing to working with clients and everything in between. Because I think, it's one thing to get the education and, to become an RSSA, but it's another thing to practice and to integrate it into your practice in a way that is going to be helpful to you as well as the clients and prospects that you'll work with. So Lori, thank you so much for joining today as well. I appreciate you both so much, and Amanda, in this partnership. I do have a few slides that I want to share with you all today that's different than what we've done in the past. Just to kind of get you some ideas about how people are using this aside from Robin and Lori and some other ideas. So I'm just going to pull that up so that we can go through some of those as well. Now, I think that it's really important to know that we're all about, financial wellness, right? It's not just about sales. And yes, like I said, our end goal for all of you, agents is to obviously increase our sales, increase our opportunities. But if we can do that in a really meaningful and genuine way where we're helping our clients with this other important retirement decision, I think that's really going to speak volume and really differentiate us as agents. I always say that, if we're trying to target, let's just say a T65 lead, and they're getting mailers and flyers and they're getting solicitations, even illegally, right? There's, people doing the wrong thing out there. There's also Joe Namath on TV that they're seeing, right? And it's all to sell them on Medicare products. Now, even though that is the end goal, if we can come at them in a different and unique approach and tell them we can help them optimize and understand when they take Social Security, what benefits they're eligible for, what are some of the rules and pitfalls that they need to know so that they can make the best decision. And a lot of times working with clients on this might be to verify that what they were already thinking was correct. But a lot of clients are truly confused in every aspect of Social Security and Medicare. And again, to be that reliable resource is a really important aspect, especially for building that trust, building that rapport, and leading to things like referrals and 5-star reviews and everything to really take our businesses to that next level. Now, just to reiterate, so everyone understands what the program includes, we want you to know that we provide you with everything that you need to be successful. This includes the education, the training, but we also have our own proprietary software technology that you're able to use, like Lori said, and Robin, to run the cases. We have all of the marketing content that you need to market yourselves as Social Security professionals. And then we have the comprehensive support. So we want to give you a turnkey plug and play approach so that no matter what you're looking to do, you can integrate this into your practice in a really easy and efficient way. And again, my team, as well as everyone on RSSA, we're here to help you do that. So, like we just said, I think the biggest part of this is, as agents, we always want to come up with ways that we can differentiate ourselves. We can get in the door with more prospects, make more one-on-one appointments, and open the door for more opportunities, which is going to lead to things like Lori and Robin said, not just going after clients directly or prospects, but also going to unions, employer groups, school districts, all of these things that we help you with to try and increase your presence in the industry, but also differentiate you from all of the other agents out there. And I think the thing with Social Security is that not only does it help you with your business today, but because Social Security starts a little bit earlier than Medicare, you can actually build a future pipeline of opportunities as well. Now, for Social Security educational events, we really encourage, educational events for Social Security. As you just heard, Robin and Lori are doing some events, and I do events at my local school district. I think events are really great because, you're getting people into a room to learn about Social Security. You're not necessarily selling them on a product. It's all about education, helping them with their questions and decisions, ultimately making maybe a one-on-one appointment with them. And then from there, you can open the door for other opportunities because now they've become your client, right? And this is also a way to think about, do you want to use this as a value add to your clients? Or do you want to use this maybe as a new revenue stream and charge people for your services? And it really depends on what you're looking to do as an agent. I found both ways are effective. I think people are willing to pay a fee for this service because they are confused and they don't know where to go for this help. And so it, to a lot of people, $300-400 to make sure they're making the best decisions in retirement is something that people don't really have a problem with. Again, I guess it depends on the demographic and where they are. But you could also charge less, you could charge more, or you can simply use this to get in the door with more prospects and open the door for other opportunities as well. So I think there's a lot of room for seeing how you want to effectively use this. But again, I always encourage people to only end up enrolling in the program if you're really serious about taking that next step, right? We don't want you to enroll and then you paid all this money, you didn't do anything. That doesn't make sense. But if you say that, hey, this is something I think that can help my business and really help me in this industry, then yeah, it's an investment that you can make and use it in a way that's going to be helpful to you as well as all the clients and prospects that you serve. So now we also wanted to talk about some common Social Security questions. And, there's so many questions out there that people have. But some of the ones that they have are more common and they're more maybe less complicated. And then there could be situations where things tend to get very complicated, right? Some questions you might see is, what benefits am I eligible for? Is that retirement, spousal, survivor, dependent benefits? Right? There's a lot of benefits that actually go uncollected because people aren't aware that they're actually eligible to receive them. People have questions like, how is my benefit calculated? There's misconceptions that benefits are calculated from the last 3 years, the top 10 years, right? But it's based on the top 35 years. So, stopping work now might not necessarily impact your benefit all that much because it's taking such a wide range of years that you did work and pay into the Social Security. We also get questions about, is my Social Security statement accurate, right? They have a My Social Security account on the SSA.gov website, and they're looking at this statement estimate that may or may not be accurate. And the big reason for that is that Social Security makes some assumptions and estimates that may or may not be accurate and true to that specific individual. On top of that is when we have, clients that look just on their Social Security account, the big problem with that is that it's only looking at the individual. It's not taking into account your spouse and spousal benefits, survivor benefits, dependent benefits. The survivor benefit is actually the most under-collected benefit because people aren't aware that they're eligible for it, when to claim it, and all of the rules that are around it. And the big thing is that, people are losing potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars in uncollected benefits. And we'll also talk about, obviously, overpayments is a big part of that too, is Social Security overpaying clients, and then the clients are expected to pay that money back. There's also questions like, when should I claim my benefit and what my full retirement age is and kind of how that works into it. Can I work and still receive my benefits, right? There's earnings limits on what clients can earn while collecting Social Security, depending on the age that they are. And when does that turn off? And what income counts and what income doesn't count as income for the earnings limits, right? We get questions like, are Social Security benefits taxable? Depending on the state and federal, how much, if any, will my Social Security benefits be subject to taxation? And how can I plan accordingly to pay the least amount of taxes but have the highest benefit? There's also more complicated questions, like I said, such as, can I claim an ex-spousal benefit? Can I claim an ex-spousal benefit if I remarry? Will my spouse receive a survivor benefit when I pass away? Can my minor or disabled children collect benefits, and how much will they collect? Can I claim a spousal benefit and switch to my own benefit later on? How does it work if I am married more than once, right? All of these questions are taught to you in the program so that you can not only answer these questions for your clients, but a big part of why, and what we'll talk about in a minute, is why the Social Security Administration answers questions incorrectly is because they don't have any context to answer that question, right? If you ask, am I eligible for a spousal benefit? If the Social Security rep doesn't know the right questions to ask back, they can't adequately answer that question, and they don't know what questions to ask back. But as an RSSA, you'll understand that you need to know, how long were you married? How long have you been divorced? What does your benefit look like? What does your ex-spouse's benefit look like? Did you remarry, right? All of these questions, you'll understand that you have to ask them to your clients to give them the best answer possible. And again, that is the reason mainly why reps at Social Security answer questions incorrectly, is because without context, it's hard to adequately answer those questions in a correct way. Now, again, the common issues that our clients have with Social Security is that, one, our clients are definitely looking for that more personalized service and advice. The Social Security Administration by law is not allowed to give advice. Yes, they're allowed to answer questions, but like I said, they, without knowing context, they answer questions wrong a lot of the times. I'm sure many of you have called them. I actually called them, myself a few times, and it's always, waiting on the phone for 3 hours. It's getting incorrect answers. It's getting rude people, right? We want to be that reliable resource so that our clients know that they can call us up and get that information and advice at any time, and they don't have to wait for 3 hours and maybe get a correct answer. There was also a recent, and I talk about this a lot, there was a recent 60 Minutes interview on Social Security overpayments. And it talked about how many Americans, over 1 million a year, that are overpaid by the Social Security Administration. And then the Social Security Administration wants that money back, right? And, I've seen overpayments of up to $50,000, $100,000, even $250,000. I think one of the largest ones on record from what I looked up was 309,000. And the biggest reason for overpayments is being uneducated and not understanding the rules, but also getting wrong or misleading information from the Social Security reps, right? A lot of overpayments come from, like I said, continuing to work and not knowing that there are earnings limits, not telling the Social Security Administration about the non-covered pension, which enacts the WEP and GPO. So, giving your clients this education and answering their questions and making sure that at all costs they can avoid losing out on hundreds of thousands of dollars or getting an overpayment, that alone is enough to say, hey, this is an important service that I really want to offer my clients so that I never am put in a position where my client loses out on a ton of money. If you think about the clients that we're trying to work with, not everyone has a 401k or a Roth IRA or all these other retirement accounts. Most Americans rely on Social Security for a large portion or all of their retirement income. So imagine that, one, they don't understand when to claim benefits or what they're eligible for, and they have to work later in life, like I said, because they have no other choice. And on top of that is, what if they make a wrong decision and have an overpayment of, $50,000? They have to pay that back either in a lump sum or a percentage out of their Social Security check until it's recouped. Now, I know they're trying to make, different laws around that where, you could pay it back easier and stuff, but no one wants to have an overpayment. No one wants to owe back the Social Security Administration, just like you don't want to owe in taxes, right? And again, all of this can be avoided if we are that reliable resource to be able to help our clients with these decisions. Now, again, we also offer the weekly training, and some of the topics that I wanted to discuss with you today about the live weekly training that we offer once you become an RSSA include things like how to get started and the initial steps you can take as an RSSA to start getting your name out there and helping your clients understand and prospects that you offer this service, how to work with clients and the client management tools that we offer. We also have ways to do lead generation and how to market yourself. We work with some really great lead vendors as well. I'm sure Amanda, I've seen her work with some of them as well. And then we also have things like, how to get more prospects, how to make more appointments, and how to increase sales. Putting on events, getting into school districts, getting in front of unions, and all of that. And so these weekly trainings that we offer are really important to us as well as the agents in the program, so that no matter what, we give you step-by-step everything to be successful and everything that you can do to integrate this into your practice. Some of the getting started training, we have, how you can reach out to our team for assistance, giving you that case and client question support. Yes, the course is really great about giving you that general knowledge and information, but you can continue to learn, and you learn the most on the job, right? I'm sure we all understand that. So as you're learning, we're here to give you that support. We also talk about things like the RSSA portal navigation, what is available to you, where to find it, and how to work with the different aspects and resources that we provide. Also, continuing your RSA knowledge and where to get certain information and where to go to help your clients. We also have a marketing materials and collateral that we go through. We talk about the client management tools that we offer, and we also talk about and train additionally on the technology.
So the question is, what support do you have if someone does the course and does not pass the exam? Can you take the exam multiple times? Is there a charge for each time you take it?
So we do have a second exam try at no additional cost. From there, you'll still get a discount to take it a third time. The reason we don't really bring that up much is because the agents who end up doing this and do get through the 5 modules, we have a 96% that pass on the first try, and the extra 4% almost always pass on the second try. Usually a third try is not needed. If it is, we'll work with you on being able to take it again. But the important thing is, if you do fail the exam, our team actually reaches out to you and lets you know what you got wrong and what areas you need to study, and even work with you one-on-one so that you can definitely pass the second time. So we don't want you to worry about, I was never a good test taker myself, and I passed. I actually passed my life and health on the first try, my RSSA on the first try, and my AHIP on the first try. And again, I'm a horrible test taker. But it's just, as long as you put the effort in, there's no reason why this isn't something that you can easily pass.
Has anyone that has passed the RSSA exam had a problem with their local Social Security office asking them to cease and desist because they do not work for the Social Security office?
Well, so we have, like you see down here, there's disclaimers that we're not affiliated with the Social Security Administration, and you should actually be telling clients the same thing, that you're not affiliated. I've never had any issues with the Social Security Administration. This is, completely separate. So I don't see any issues with that. I've never come across any RSSAs that had any issues with that either.
Do you have to recertify every year with an exam? And is there a cost to it?
So you don't have to recertify every year. The only requirement for continuing ed after you pass the exam is that each year you take 4 in-house CE credits. And when I say in-house, they're all our own courses. So Social Security and specific topics. We have courses that range anywhere from a half a credit to 2 credits. I just did mine the other day. It doesn't take long. It's like an hour and a half.
Are there fees to go ahead and take those CEs with you guys?
So after the first year, the only other thing you're paying is the membership, which is $479. We'll talk about, and that includes the CEs. It includes the back office support, the software, the weekly training, and everything else that you need. So there's no additional fees aside from the membership itself. Okay, so as far as working with clients, we'll talk about how you can get leads through our website, and that's at no additional cost. We have a directory of RSSAs where consumers will come and find you and reach out to you. We also have lead vendors that we work with. We talk about how to engage with prospects, how to help your current clients, whether you're charging a fee or not. We also train you on having an initial consultation to see if you can help them and how to kind of initiate a engagement with them. We talk a lot about the RSA roadmap technology and how that plays into working with clients to create that personalized Social Security analysis. We also provide you with post-consultation follow-ups, email and letter templates, asking for reviews and referrals and everything. All of that is covered in our training. We also have, I went back. We also have marketing training, where we tell you about the marketing material and collateral that we provide to you. We talk about how to market yourself, where to market, and best practices. We have customizable material where you can use our materials and put your information on it. For Social Security educational events, we actually have the slide presentation, the slide deck with the notes, the speaker notes, and video training provided as well, so you can learn kind of how to put events on and where to do it and how to promote for that. And then according to our lead vendors that we work with, it's a little bit higher of a return than some of the Medicare events that they've done. So I think they said around 2.6 to a 2.8% return on postal mail marketing. So that's also another added on bonus as well. So what's included, and this is what kind of some of the questions that we just got. So what's included in the program? First of all, through Amanda, you're getting a discount of $19.50, and that's discounted from $23.29. And what's included in that $19.50 is the 5-module e-learning course. We also have live webinar style course review training as well that you're invited to. That's part of it. You get a final exam and then a second try if needed. You get the RSA roadmap software, and you get the first year RSSA membership. That's all built into the $19.50. The only other required fee is 12 months later and every 12 months after that, which is an annual fee of $479. And that gives you everything you see here. That'll give you the live weekly training, the roadmap software, the back office support, marketing material, event materials, access to our lead vendors, the website leads, you get your own unique RSSA landing page, client management tools, the CEs. So this just names a few, but we give you a lot of everything that you need to integrate this. Now, for investing in your business, here's how we want you to look at this. And I talked to Amanda about this a lot, is, using, spending money to make money in a way, right? Investing in your business. So, with Medicare Advantage, the commission averages around $650, right? It's $611 nationally. And then depending on certain states that pay a little more, let's just say it's an average of $650. That's 3 sales, 3 Medicare sales that pay for the program. So that's how we want you to think about it, is if you think that this is something that can help your business and you can get some sales from it, it's an investment, but it's not a lot of sales to make back that investment. And then again, we also have people that charge a fee for the service. Now, the average RSSA is charging around $500 for the Social Security planning. Some are doing, anywhere from $300 to $400, and then some are doing upwards of $600 to $700. So the average is around $500. So with 4 Social Security plan sales, that makes up the cost of the program as well. Now, recently, what I like to talk about, obviously, is success stories, right? We actually had a recent RSSA who put on their first Social Security event, and from there did charge a fee and made over $2,000 just on Social Security planning, but then also ended up getting some Medicare sales as well as future opportunities out of it as well. So these are the stories that we love, and we want, stories like Lori's and Robin's to really, be for everybody. We want success stories from every single one of you, and I think that's, really important that we give you all the support necessary to be able to do that. So if anyone is interested in getting started, you can go right to Amanda's partner page here, which is rssa.com/Medicare Answers Now. We've had a lot of success from others who have joined through Amanda. And Amanda, you've been such a wonderful partner. And anyone here, including Amanda, who is going to Medicarians, I am very excited to see everyone there. Come to the booth. We're going to be at 925. I mentioned it in the Miss Medicare group. Yeah, I really look forward to seeing everybody. So, the next, we're getting a question of how long will this special last? So, the special will last at least until the end of the year. We plan to do a slight increase across the board, come 2025, but you'll have at least till December, most likely to, have that discount. So, we don't want anybody rushing into this. But again, if you think it's good, for your business, you can do it. What I would suggest is, if you are interested in this, try and do it over the next few months maybe before the summer where it gets nice out. And then next thing you know, we're doing AEP or AHIP and then AEP. So, if this is good, this is a good time to do it while it's still kind of chilly out, I guess. I guess it depends on where you are, but it's cold here, so. The next question is, how long does it take to complete the training? That's another important thing to know, is that, Lori and Robin, I'm sure, can allude to this as well. I'm not sure if they're still on, but you do have to put in the effort, right? You have to learn the material. You can't fake your way through it. You should expect it to be anywhere from 15 to 20 hours, depending on, your level of learning. What I ended up doing was, when I first took it way back when, and I was doing it myself, I ended up just studying for like an hour and a half every night before bed and just reading the material, and ended up getting it done in like a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, taking the test, and then that was it. So you could definitely do it, but again, you do have to learn the material. I just want to make sure that everyone understands that, don't just join and try to get through it as quickly as possible. Really take the time. There's no rush. You have an entire year to finish the program technically, so there's no rush to finish that. Yeah, so actually I just answered the question. So how long do we have to finish it? So you have 12 months. If you don't finish within the 12 months, I don't want anyone to enroll and then just put it off for 12 months, because that just doesn't make any sense. But if you need longer than the 12 months, then you could still pay the $479 membership, which would just extend your course and everything like that. So technically you have, more than a year as long as you continue to pay the membership. But I think the biggest thing about this is that you want to earn, your RSSA, you want to learn the material and start joining us for those weekly trainings, and maybe start kind of making some progress as you lead into, AHIP and AEP and OEP and all these other things. Yeah, so Amanda just put in the chat the landing page. I'm sure Amanda will make the recording available at some point. She'll let you know about that. And the next question is, I would just encourage folks to get the training done prior to AEP because life gets so hectic. Yeah, I agree. Once, not even just AEP, but once AHIP comes and all these recertifications, and then it's summer, and, next thing, and then there's Miss Medicare in the summer, and you're not really thinking about it. So,
yeah, my suggestion is that if you're going to do this, I would highly recommend that you earmark to get it done before July 1. July 1 is your drop date for the start of certification season, if you will. And taking this on, building out a marketing plan, and actually implementing it before July 1 is smart business. It's good business. It also allows you to get the generation that you need out in the community. I did see the announcement that you guys started working with Chris Weir on some marketing pieces. As soon as I got that email, I emailed Melissa and said, I want to take a look at what these look like, and they look really good. So there are multiple ways to market this, and several of them that I find that look good. Candidly, is this worth your money? Yes. Some of you more so than others. I will say that there's a few of you on this call that you've got too many fires on, or too many pans on that stove, that this is a play that we need to wait and get you a little bit further down the road on. The majority of you, yes, if this is something that piques your interest, I would definitely go ahead and look at. The next, so are there any classes that you have in April or May?
Yeah, so the big part of the live classes is due to Amanda, who said that they're going to be very helpful, and I agree. I was always a more visual, hands-on learner, so we actually implemented live classes every month going forward. There's actually live sessions this week, so obviously it's late for that. However, April will be a live session. I will. Amanda,
do you have a master calendar of those live sessions posted anywhere? And if not, can you make that available, please?
I will make that available. Yes, I will make sure that we get, yeah.
Many of these agents, one, they're planning around kids, they're planning around vacations, conferences and things like that. So if they can't hit it with last minute on 1 month, being able to earmark that, okay, this fits into my schedule, and they can block it off, it is paramount that they have that. The other question, Andrea wants to know about, does your E&O cover it? And then can you go over the fees again? So that way they have that information as well. That would be great.
Yeah. So as far as the E&O question, this is generally a service, right? It's not a product. So I think the E&O is mainly focused on products. However, you still want to protect yourself. So usually, people who have the RSSA don't get additional E&O. If they already have it, it's should provide some coverage. However, a big thing is that you never really have to tell clients what to do. It's more about educating them and helping them, understand what they need to know for them to make the best informed decision. I've actually never told anyone when to claim benefits. I really just give them enough information and education for them to make the best decision without, actually telling them, hey, you should wait till blah, blah, blah. Another thing is that, yeah, so that's also with the technology, the software. We do have disclaimers in there to protect you as well. So between those two, usually you don't need extra E&O. And then for the price structure, and I'll just go back to this. So when you enroll in the program, and unfortunately we don't have payment plans at this time, but the $19.50 is due up front, and that's going to give you everything you need for the first year. That gives you the 5-module self-study course. It also comes with the live webinar course training. You get a final exam and then a second try if you need. If you do need a third try, we're going to make sure we work with you on that. Whether it's heavily discounted or whether we give you a third try complimentary, which will probably be true just because we have such a great partnership with Amanda. We have the RSSA roadmap software and then the first year RSSA membership, which obviously includes everything that you see here. And then after that, it's $479. So the $19.50 includes the $479 for year one. So you won't pay another fee until 12 months after you enroll, which is $479 for the membership. And again, that gives you everything you need here on this list. So there's no other like hidden fees or anything like that. Another question is it worth it if you live in a very low income area? What I would say is that with low income areas, it's still a valuable service. You might not charge for it necessarily, or maybe you'll charge very low, but those people still need help and they still need Medicare and health insurance and everything. So I still think there's a value. You just might not necessarily charge them a fee or very little compared to maybe what you would charge in other areas. But I definitely still think it's more important for low income areas because those are the ones who really rely on Social Security for probably all of their retirement income, and to help them make those decisions is going to be very helpful as well. If you don't keep up on the annual membership fee, do you lose the designation? So if you don't keep up on the membership, you'll lose everything. You won't have access to anything. But it's not like you lose it for good. As long as you pay the membership again after that, everything kind of reinstates. So you don't lose it, but you can't use it or have access to any of the materials or the software without paying the $479. The next question is Cetera part of this program? Yes, it's included in the program. We talk about it in the modules. We train you on how to do it. We're even making it so that it's easily integrated into the RSA roadmap. Today, you can do it in the roadmap. It's not as easy, but you can still do it. We're making it so that it's very, very simple right in the roadmap. And we also just came out with a feature called the tax calculator in the roadmap, which actually tells the client if and how much their Social Security benefits are subject to either state or federal taxation as well. What type of payments do you accept for this program? So I think it's basically all major credit cards and debit cards are provided that you can use. So hopefully that helps. All right, so we are coming up on the top of the hour, Amanda. Again, thank you everyone so much for your time today and listening to this. I hope you did get a lot out of it. I did want to talk about different things than just the program itself, because I think that others talking and giving their feedback and everything like that is really helpful as well, especially to those who maybe were on the fence or thinking about if this is right for them. So Amanda, yeah, thank you again so much.
Thank you for taking the time to do this and answering everybody's questions. And I will go ahead and once this gets uploaded, I will get it posted out. So thank you. And, feel free if you have questions. Tom is in all of the Facebook groups that I am at, and I know many of you are going to Medicare, so you can see him then. He does have a booth. So do I. And for those of you that do not know, for Medicarians, I am doing 2 social events, one which will be from 10 to noon on Monday. It's called Coffee and Connection. If you go into your Medicarians app and go under community events and click into there, you'll see them there. Just register, they're free. But would love to have you at that one. Again, that's Coffee and Connections on Monday from 10 to noon. And then the other one is we're doing a Medicare Margaritas happy hour. So that'll be a Tuesday, and that'll be from 4:30 to 5:30, I believe, is the time on that one. So love to see you guys there. And please, if you see me running around, don't hesitate to say hi. And I look forward to seeing all of you soon. So have a good one, and I will talk with you. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. Bye.